Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Buffalo Sports Center. I am Don, and today we are talking about the Buffalo Sabres, more specifically, some news regarding the future of the Sabres' home, the KeyBank Center. But before we get to that, make sure, you can see all of them here right next to my head. Subscribe to the Instagram. Follow the Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube, join the Discord. All of those links are down in the description below. But let's get to the meat of the video here and very quickly summarize what's happening right now with the KeyBank Center. So earlier today, I'm recording this on April 15th, the county executive, Mark Poloncarz, released a statement publicly, and he talked about how he was not really interested in footing the bill anymore for the KeyBank Center's renovations and their maintenance and all the costs that are associated with that. There are reports flying around on Twitter right now that the KeyBank Center is facing around $200 million worth of renovations. That $200 million worth of renovations are needed on the KeyBank Center. Now, if you're like me and haven't been there in a while, you may forget how crappy of an arena it is. But ask anyone that's gone there, and they will tell you that the concourses still need a lot of work. There's plenty of seats throughout the arena that are in subpar quality. Hey, they put in a new scoreboard, but that's only scratching the surface of the issues that are plaguing the KeyBank Center. And all of those problems amount to around $200 million. And county executive, Mr. Poloncarz, he doesn't want to have to deal with them. He doesn't want the Erie County paying for any of this, which leaves an uncertain future now about who could own the KeyBank Center. Now, ever since the KeyBank Center was opened back in 1996, there was a 30-year lease put on it, and technically under the lease, Erie County has owned it. However, that lease is coming to an end next year in 2026, but there is an option right now in October, I believe, of 2025 here, this upcoming October. There is an option for everyone to decide who the new lease owner is. And they have to decide this 1 year in advance, and, well, Erie County has just taken their hat, pulled it out of the ring, and have walked out of the bar. They are no longer interested in dealing with the KeyBank Center and all of its problems. And let me tell you, folks, this is bad. I don't mean to be hyperbolic or fear-mongering, but these are some of the same problems that Arizona dealt with, the Arizona Coyotes and their Gila River Arena. There were problems over leasing, who owned it, who was going to pay for the maintenance costs of the arena. And all of this eventually led to, and of course, Arizona's owners not paying for their lease. They weren't paying the county, Glendale. All of this eventually led to Arizona leaving their downtown arena, going to a college arena that was not too far away, playing games there for 2 seasons before eventually being relocated. Now, I'm not saying the Sabres are being relocated. Not at all. But this could be a problem down the line, especially if there is a prolonged ownership battle over, hey, I don't want to have to pay for this. Everyone's playing hot potato right now with a $200 million charge hanging over the head of whoever owns the KeyBank Center. And let me tell you, folks, if Erie County doesn't want to pay for the KeyBank Center, neither does the city of Buffalo. Because if Erie County doesn't have that money, given that they're spending so much right now with the Bills Arena, the Bills Stadium, the city of Buffalo definitely doesn't have that kind of money to pay $200 million for the KeyBank Center. Their budget isn't even it's not even a fifth of that. It's around $38 million a year. So this would require major state intervention if things were to go into the worst case scenario. Now, all of this is worst case scenario. My guess is that Poloncarz could be using this as a negotiating tactic. Right now, there are budget talks between Erie County, the city of Buffalo, the state, and everyone else in government, all these municipalities. And this could just be a negotiating tactic. Poloncarz coming out big and bold, trying to draw a line in the sand over how much Erie County is going to pay for, how much they want, etc., etc. But if so, that would be a very strange tactic, because he is dangling the Sabres in front of everyone else's heads. And yes, I know the Sabres haven't been good, and sure, maybe the Sabres aren't really worth it considering how long they've been bad. But no one wants to see a potential ownership, or not even an ownership, an arena issue that could eventually lead to the Sabres being relocated. At that point, that would really be sad. That would be horrible for the city, horrible for the sports fans in this city. And unfortunately, that's where this could lead to. If no one wants to pay for these renovation costs, if no one wants to own the actual arena, well, you have a very uncertain future. Now, as I mentioned before a few seconds ago, Poloncarz could be using this as a negotiating tactic to maybe force Terry Pegula's hand into retaking ownership of the arena, footing Pegula with that $200 million bill. But we know Terry Pegula. He's a penny pincher. He's barely even paying for the new Bills Arena. And the Bills Arena, I mean, the state's paying for $1 billion. Erie County's paying a lot of money as well for that. Terry is not going to just roll over and say, okay, we'll pay for this. That's just not going to happen. And all of this leads to some, well, unnecessary noise around the Sabres, who are already going into a tough offseason. And, well, folks, there is certainly some uncertainty. I know that was not the best choice of words there, but there's a lot of uncertainty now over the Sabres arena. And, you know, maybe this leads to a change of venue for someone. And don't forget that KeyBank Center is host to the Bandits, a lot of summertime performances as well. So if there was a huge problem with the KeyBank Center and no one wanted to pay for that, downtown already doesn't have a lot of economic activity. This could take away a whole lot more of that. And it could see the Sabres and the Bandits potentially both be lost. But I'm sure that no one wants that. The city doesn't want that. Erie County doesn't want that. Neither does Terry Pegula for always penny pinching. There is definitely going to be a development with this. So we'll see in the upcoming months, but certainly this was troubling news today. But anyways, folks, let me know your thoughts about this troubling report about the KeyBank Center. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Check out these videos next to me, and I hope to see all of you in the next video. Peace.